Hi, welcome back. Let us start with another new topic, very important topic, that is serial learning. So, in the previous video, we have seen verbal learning. So, what is verbal learning? Learning of words, languages, sentences. So, anything related to language is called verbal learning. Okay. So, serial learning is also a form of verbal learning only, in which if you want a detailed video on verbal learning, see the previous video. You will get the detailed information. I have explained every point of verbal learning in detail. Okay. So serial learning is also a form of verbal learning in which learner acquires, retains and reproduces a series of items in a particular sequence or order. Okay. Same thing. This is same as verbal learning. Okay. The correctness of the response. Okay, whatever response the student has given, the correctness of the response depends not only on remembering the item themselves, but also recalling them. See, what is the point in studying? He should remember it and he should recall it. What is the point of remembering if he doesn't recall it whenever it is required? Correct, na? So he should recall them in the exact order. Okay, in verbal learning, we have just learned words, sentences, and everything. But in serial learning, he has to remember it in exact same order. That is serial learning. Serial, the name itself tells. Okay, so in exact, this is very important, exact order which they were learned. So remembering in order is called very, very important. See, exact order which they were learned. Okay. Serial learning occupies an important place in education because many academic tasks that day to day, many subjects or many aspects in our academics require learners to remember it in a particular sequence. Correct, na? See, many academic tasks require learner to memorize and reproduce the information sequentially. Okay, like learning alphabets. You have to learn alphabets in that particular order only. Multiplication, multiplication tables, scientific classifications, historical events, formulas, poems, and procedural steps. All these require sequence. Okay, so serial learning will help in remembering the words or whatever you have learned in a particular order. Okay. So serial learning is defined as a learning process in which series of items are acquired and reproduced in the same order. This is very important, in the same order in which they were originally presented. Okay, what are the characteristics of serial learning? It involves sequential organization. Then it depends upon memory and retention. Whatever you have learned in sequence, you have to retain it in your mind. Okay, so it is an efficient process of encoding, storage, retention, recall, and recognition. It requires a lot of practice and repetition. If suppose ABCD is there, if the student doesn't practice it in the order, if he doesn't practice properly, he will not be able to remember, right? Only upon practice can you remember anything in the order. It encourages meaningful connections. That is, a person can connect one thing with the other. Okay, when learners understand the relationship among the items in serial learning will become more effective. So simply, rather than mugging up or by hearting all the things in all the things, all the items in the series, if you understand the relationship between one and the other, you will be able to remember it more effectively. Okay, and you can depend less on rote memorization. Very, very important. So you have to understand when remembering it in series, you have to first try to understand the relationship between the items in the series. Then you will be able to remember it and avoid rote memorization. Okay, it develops habit formation. Once you start, remembering things in series, you can apply it everywhere. It becomes a habit. It facilitates structured learning and it influences academic achievement. What is the process of serial learning? First, presentation of the learning material. Teacher will present what is the learning material in clear and organized sequence. Okay, proper arrangement of the items will enhance comprehension, that is better understanding, and reduce confusion. Next, attention and perception. The learner will focus their attention on the material, try to understand it, try to understand the relationship among the items of the material. Then the third step is understanding and association. The learner will form meaningful association between the successive item, first item, next item. He will try to understand a relationship. He will try to form a relationship. Okay, then he will practice and repeat it. Then he will read. That will get, after practice and repetition, that will automatically written in your mind. And automatically, if you do all these steps, you will be able to recall it in the correct order. You have to apply the acquired knowledge. What is the use when you don't apply the knowledge that you have gained? So what are the types of serial learning? Forward serial learning. Okay, in this the learners will reproduce the information in the same order in which it was presented. Suppose A to Z. The teacher with the learner will recite from A to Z. Okay, then you have backward recitation, backward serial learning. What is backward serial learning? The learner will reproduce the information in the reverse order. Okay, 100 to 1. Okay, then meaningful serial learning. Items are logically connected and easy to remember. Example, stages of plant growth in steps. Okay, then rote serial learning. Okay, items are memorized through repetition without knowing their meanings. Okay, this one is very dangerous. Okay, you have to be very careful. You should not follow this. Without knowing meaning, there is no use. Okay, what are the various factors affecting serial learning? Meaningfulness of the material. If the person doesn't understand the material, meanings of the things in the material, he will not be able to memorize it. Simple. Then length of the series. If it is too lengthy also, there are chances of forgetting. Then motivation. If the person is not motivated, then there is no point of learning it altogether. Then frequency of practice. How many number of times did he practice that series? Okay, regular. More the frequency, more he will be able to remember it. Attention and interest. He should pay attention. Okay, then previous knowledge also is very important. Physical and emotional conditions, fatigue, stress, anxiety, all these will, because of all these, no person will not be able to memorize. Okay, he should memorize on a calm and peaceful mind. What are the educational importance of serial learning? It develops sequential thinking. It strengthens the memory power. It facilitates academic achievement, and it encourages discipline and regular practice. It supports problem solving abilities and improves language development. I hope you liked my video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please do support my channel.